Mentorship is hugely important, I think, for lots of reasons. One is that you need cheerleaders to kind of cheer you on. And I think especially, for someone who looks like me, it's very easy to think that you don't belong. When you look in medicine and you look especially in science and you're like, well, there's no one who looks like me, maybe I don't belong. And then you have someone who goes, no, you do. Like you're good. But you also need people who have a sense of how the world works, how to help you navigate through it, how to maintain your enthusiasm, but also help ground you a little bit. Because sometimes you can think, oh, I'm going to take over the world. And they're like, hold on, wait a minute. Like you'll get there, but slow down. Do this first, that first, this first. And you're like, okay. They give you a sense of sort of how to navigate. They help you figure out your roadmap. And then eventually, hopefully, you have mentors that either transition into sponsors or give you access to sponsors who can open doors for you. And that last piece is crucial. And I think women and minorities in particular tend to have lots of mentors who they can go to and sort of ask day-to-day questions, and don't have as many sponsors who will vouch for them, who will make a call for them and get them on a committee or nominate them for an award or do all of these other things that you need to kind of make your career keep going. So I'd say for me, mentors and sponsors have been really, really important. So I think one of the best pieces of advice I got was that a mentoring relationship in some ways is like a romantic relationship, in that, I'm not trying to make it too concerning here, too sketchy, in that you wouldn't go on a first date with someone and say, will you marry me? Usually, right? You shouldn't do that. But in the same way, you wouldn't go to a mentor and say, will you be my mentor? Right? Like you've never met them. So you want to start off, ask questions, say who you are, what you're looking for, ask them maybe how they got to where they are. And hopefully over time, you start to develop a relationship that then evolves into a mentoring relationship. So I would say cast your net really wide, talk to a lot of people. It can be really intimidating, but you can go to people and say, I'm a student, I'm interested in understanding more about your career and how you got there. And that's it, that's all you have to say. And people will come to me and they'll ask me that question, and I spend 15 or 30 minutes talking with them, and it's the easiest part of my day. They're not asking me for money, they're not asking me for time, they're not asking me to write a grant or a paper, they just want to chat. And I will do that, ad nauseum, probably to my detriment, because it's fun. But I would encourage people to cast a very broad net, talk to people who are doing what you think you might want to be doing, talk to people who might be doing things that you don't want to do, but you otherwise admire them for some reason. And then the more you talk to people, the more you'll start to develop these relationships.